rock and roll with rock hard riffs. Well, hey there guys, this is Rock Hard Riffs, the rock and roll guitar channel for the self-taught. In today's video, we're going to dial in this Marshall Origin 20 watt amp head. This is made in Vietnam and it is a tube amp. This thing's killer, guys. It's kind of modeled on the old Plexi amps and it definitely sounds like it. Hear that little bit of bite in there? This does not have a whole lot of overdrive. We're going to listen to it in just a second. But that's not really what it's for. It's like a pedal platform. You put your distortion and your reverb, whatever pedals you use, in front of the amp. Now personally, I put an EQ pedal through the effects loop, so it has kind of like the last say in the shaping of the tone. It and the presence knob, which is power amp related. I have the gain maxed out, and on our volume we're at about 5 or halfway. And again, this is on the half watt setting. So that's that. So it doesn't get all that terribly distorted. Now I'm going to dial the volume and the gain back down. Okay guys, so I have dialed it back. I've got the gain at about 7. And we have the master volume at about 4, as you can see there. That's like a bedroom volume right there in the half watt setting. And that's a nice sound, if you ask me. So now let's talk about a couple different things. Okay guys, let's talk about this tilt knob. Now let's go full on hard overdrive. Okay, now let's bring it all the way down. So the more drive you put into it, the more effect it has. Now let's bring it all the way up. And now we're back at noon. I like it right there. You know, personally, I like it right there. Now let's also talk about the presence knob over here. Now this again is in the power section of the amplifier. What it does is it increases the higher frequencies, if you want to put it that way. And again, this is in the power section. So let's listen to it all the way down. Seems to be the tune of the day, doesn't it? Okay, let's go up to 5. Wow, that really brightens things. Let's take it all the way up. And so I bring it back down to about 2. So as you can see, guys, with the tilt and presence knobs, this thing is really a bright amp if you want to get it that way. This thing will be much brighter than you probably would ever need it to be. So from this point on, instead of messing with the presence and more of the tilt, what I'll do is just use the treble knob on the amp itself. So let's listen to that. Let's bring it up to noon. That's where I had it. Let's bring it all the way up. Now let's bring the presence and tilt all the way up. Is that bright? That's a nice tone. That's my clean tone right now. So as you can see it has a bit of grit in there with just a little bit of gain and that amount of volume. That's just about where I like to keep it set. Okay guys, now let's mess with the mid-range a little bit. I like to keep my mid right at about 3 on the dial there, so let's listen to that. That's pretty much a scooped kind of sound right there. That's not bad. So I kind of like a slightly scooped sound. Not radically scooped. It's like I have it at about between 3 and 4, the mid-range. Okay, now let's talk about bass. I have the bass cranked because this thing is a little shy on bass. So let's listen to that. That's 0 bass. Okay, that's at 5 or 12 o'clock. I keep it right about there, and that's at 7. So the bass in here is just not what you might think, and that's why I use an EQ pedal, just to kick up that bass a bit. So what you see now, guys, is pretty much how I have this thing dialed in. And also, guys, this gain knob is also a boost. But if you have the foot switch activated, it does not work on the amp, on the front of the amp. So I'm going to step on the foot pedal, on the foot switch. I like that in clean. That boost is really cool in clean. You can get some really cool tones out of that. So there you go, guys. That is the Marshall Origin 20, how I dial my amp in. And I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you have not already, guys, and we will see you next video.